Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Spot, and you're here with me, Marilyn Wanjiku. So glad to have you guys here. I'm pretty sure you're listening from www.baseradio.co.ke, and if not, you're listening from the app. And if you're listening from the app, you are a real OG, and we give you a little nudge higher if you have invited your family and your friends. As the name suggests, we're doing a little crash course on marketing because it's very, very wide. It has very many tentacles that people don't really have a grasp on. So I'm going to just take you through whatever it is, its branches, and some of the things that you can do to ensure that you're marketing your company in the best way. So basically, marketing is anything that you do to ensure that people are seeing your business, what you're doing, what you're about. You're communicating something. That's what marketing is. You're basically marketing your product, you're marketing your service, whatever it is that you're marketing, you're putting it out there, letting your listeners, your watchers, your purchasers, your customers, whoever they are, they know what you are doing, and it's a mutually benefit relationship. So you're also earning from this endeavor. So there are a number of branches of marketing, and the biggest one, I think the first two are the ones that are highly confused. The first one is digital marketing. So basically, digital marketing is the one that focuses on digital channels. This is not only social media. Don't get it wrong. Digital marketing is also websites. It's also SEO. It's also emails, apps, online advertising. All this is digital marketing. Anything that requires digitalization, the interwebs, that's what we call digital marketing. Social media marketing is as simple as it gets. Basically, when you're using social media platforms to connect with your potential clients, engage with them, build your community, that's basically social media. So we're talking the Pinterest, the Twitters, Instagram, Facebook, all the social apps you can think of. That is social media marketing. So by the time you're hiring a digital marketer and a social media marketer, know the difference. Or if you want to become one, just know the difference. There's also content marketing. So basically, content marketing is where you check the content that you're putting out to ensure that it's relevant, valuable, and you're putting out the right message. And also, I think it's safe. It's a good place to say, but when you're putting something out, you're not putting it out for yourself, you're not putting out for your neighbor, you're putting it out so you can have it give you something back. There should always be a call to action. So when I'm putting out this article on the website, what do I want it to do? There should always be a call to action in all the content marketing that you do. So it's a blog post, a podcast, an infographic, an article. All this is a form of content marketing. And next we'll go to influencer marketing. That has been on the absolute rise in this the past few years, where people have been using people who have influence in society, not just the actual influencers. We're talking movie stars, we're talking footballers, we're talking people who are known, celebrities, musicians. People are really taking advantage of their platform, where they're getting proper deals to ensure that they're putting out your product or your service, they're advertising it for you, of course, at a fee. It looks different for every person. And the biggest conversation that has actually been in Kenya about that is, paying with product or working for experience, especially if you're an influencer or if you're someone who has a platform that people want you to use to advertise their product. So that's a bit of that's a newer one, if I may say. But we've seen the likes of who can I say, the footballer, the name is evading me. The name is escaping, but they've signed a really big deal with Nike, right? So that's a form of influencer marketing. They are influential in the community. If Messi today starts wearing batangomas, best believe the rate at which batangomas will rise will be crazy, and that's why they're needed. People trust them, people want to be them, people care about what they put out. And then there's branding and identity. So branding and identity is something even I came to learn about not very recently. Let's say last year. At some point last year is when I came to learn about branding and identity. So there's some people out here whose pure job is to brand your company. So you go to them and you tell them, hi, my name is Marilyn and I have a cleaning company and I'm starting I'm starting it because you give them the story, of course, because let's say I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I've been cleaning a lot, but now my kids are grown, so now I want to do it as a job. I'm aiming for corporates. My demographic is like corporate offices, it's on Fisher. So you give them the whole layout, you give them the whole breakdown, and they brand it for you. They give you brand colors, they give you a logo, they give you strategies. That's what brand marketing does. It just shapes it to a way where just purely by looking at your company, by looking at, let's say, your logo, your colors, what you're putting out, I will know the caliber of company that I'm looking at. Because sometimes people miss the mark. Let's talk about this. People really do miss the mark with their companies, where you can find, let's say, I am a nail tech. I do nails. And my demographic that I want to achieve is, let's say, corporate baddies, the corporate babes. So I want them to have, the simple nails. That's what I know. But now on my poster, and you yellow, green, blue, purple. So I'm looking like a child's play. So I'm wondering, where am I attracting the wrong customers? Where am I attracting people who I don't really want to attract? It's because your branding was not properly done. So actually, it's a very recent, it's called Two Sisters. They've branded it so simply. It's a mobile coffee shop. They've branded it so nicely that it would call you at its name. Let's not even go far. Let's go at Spring Valley. If you look at Spring Valley's branding, Spring Valley's branding is A1. It's very simple. You won't be confused whether Spring Valley is a laundry company or confused whether it's a shop. You will not be confused if you look at Spring Valley. So that's what brand marketing is. Then there's product marketing. This is where you are basically advertising your product, the price, how it gets done, the service. It's a bit direct. You put it out in whatever way you just put it out. There's no story, hakuna mambo mengi. That's purely your product and or your service. And then we have PR. PR is on the rise also, I would say, in Kenya, where basically when you're in public relations, you ensure that how the company or the person is viewed in society is okay. So you can find what's the name? A politician has a PR person. This PR person is meant to ensure that they're keeping a proper image in public. So there's a positive perception of this person. There's a positive communication to people out there. Maybe you even, they're in charge of, you can't go to this event because this event is going to make you look like this. Or you can't, if you're a business, you can't take part in this market because this is not who you are or this is not what you are about. So that's what basically PR is. And then there's direct marketing now. Direct marketing is me saying, buy this is what I have, buy it. That's purely direct marketing, where you're reaching your specific people and you're giving them what you have to give them. So that's literally like a couple of them. There's a lot more ways and a lot more branches to marketing, but these are the ones that I saw fit to tell, because those are the ones that if you're trying to start a business or you have a business and you're trying to build it in this age and time, those are the ones you should be targeting. Those are the ones that you should be looking at and looking to, grow and take part in terms of marketing. So there's a couple of things that you need to, let's say, look at or do when you're picking which marketing style you want for yourself. Because a lot of times also you see a lot of people, and this is something unaona kila mali. In fact, we've had a guest who's talked about it, a digital marketer who's talked about it, where let's say you have a funeral home. You have a funeral home and you're offering funeral services, but your marketing style is doing TikTok dances. Are you seeing how there's a bit of a disconnect in what you're doing? You're dancing in front of the funeral home and what you have to offer. Let's just say what it is. It's not the right marketing style. Or let's say you are a hotel, a luxury hotel, a 5-star, 4-star hotel, and your marketing is maybe responding to people's tweets or DMs in a very funny language. Like your PR is not set. Are you seeing how this could be a bit problematic when you're picking your marketing style. So you have to ensure that you're picking something that's for you, that's going to work for you. Again, out here, the people who do this as a career, but here's the thing: we're living in times where we're cutting costs wherever we can. We are making things as affordable and as easy for ourselves as we can. Even just basically knowing the basics keeps you from being what's the word, being scammed. That's the word, being scammed. So ensure that you know your target audience to begin with. Who am I targeting? What is the point of this business? Who is my customer? Who am I looking to? And one of the ways to do this is to look at your product and sit down and literally create a human being who could buy that product. So let's say I'm selling football jerseys. So my target audience is going to look like a football enthusiast. Maybe my niche in that industry is families. So maybe you know how when dads have like younger kids and then they like buying jerseys for them, that's who I'm looking for. So I know immediately when I'm advertising towards families. So I have to make sure the content that I'm putting out is family friendly. There we go. So ensure that you know your target audience. If I'm selling makeup, I'm not going to have men, I don't know, dance or something like that. I'm not going to give my product to, let's say, this male TikTok dancers. That doesn't work. If I have makeup, I'm going to look towards, if I'm doing influencer marketing, I'm going to look towards makeup influencers, skincare influencers. That's the direction you should be looking at. Ensure that you know who is going to buy your product. Even as much as you can say something, Niza kila mtu. No, ensure that you know purpose on who your target audience is. Now, this is a little life hack that I'm giving you that I don't think you will find anywhere else. In this time and age, people love buying stories. People buy stories more than they buy the product. Let's talk about it, because you can find, this is something I've interacted with. If you go to Kamukunji, you will get a cup at 100 shillings, or you get even a set and you will bargain and you will buy a set of 12 at 60 bob, and you will go home and you will be okay, and you will use these cups. Functional, amazing, zitaka, and they'll live on. They'll stay for years unless you break them. But then if you go to one of these markets, they have there are a number in Kenya, and you go, and the same cup, same concept, same thing, same material, but someone will tell you, oh, this is my business, so I'm using the same thing. I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I really just wanted to do something, so I started selling these cups. This person has priced this one cup that you bought at 60 bob in Kamukunji. They're going to price this cup at, let's say, 1,000 bob, and you will eat the story up and you will buy it. And that's the power of storytelling. So even as you're beginning your company, have a story to tell. What are you doing? What is it about? What's the concept? You could be starting a company and maybe you say, oh, I decided to let's not even go far. One of the guests I've had, they said they began their honey business because they saw that in their house the honey intake is high, and more often than not you have to wait until honey season for you to get quality honey. And even if you go to the supermarket, a lot of it is very saturated and very chemicalized. It's not as pure as others. So you end up you're just eating low quality things. So he wants quality for his parents. He wants his mom and dad to have honey all year round. So he decided to start a honey company. I would buy 10 liters of that honey because I'm like, wow, you took initiative, you have a story, that's something. So ensure that you have a story tied, and don't tell lies. Let's be honest, people in the entrepreneurs, but we aim to be honest. So don't tell lies. Just give a simple story of why you started. If you started because you were looking for money, bro, that's a story in itself. You say, hey, I was hitting tough times and I looked around and this is a business model I saw, and so far we've grown like this is what we're doing. Also, another way that people look for stories to tell is through CSR. So you attach yourself to a specific cause and give, let's say, a percentage or something. You just find like an understanding with them. So you can say, okay, we've partnered with Bayes Radio Foundation. So when you're marketing and you're telling people this storytelling section of it, you're telling them, my name is Marilyn, I'm selling bags, but actually part of the things that I do is that I give 10% to Bayes Radio Foundation because they have children in need or orphans. You see, so always ensure that you have a story to tell and don't tell lies. Also ensure that you're consistent. And consistent, I don't mean posting every day. By consistency, I mean make sure the message you're putting out is consistent. Because if you want to take you seriously as a brand, and you're putting out serious content today, kesho it's a dance, the next day it's an FAQ, then the day after that it's I don't know, just an interview. Like, ensure that your content is very, very consistent in the messaging that you put out. I'm putting out in my business of the cleaning company. My message is that I want to address corporates, and I want corporates to hire me to clean their offices. This is not a TikTok. There's no corporate person who will hire me that is watching TikTok dances. This person, maybe I could be giving, those I've come across so many of them, those TikToks that give cleaning tips. Yeah, that's the direction you can look at if you're a cleaning company that's aiming to get the higher clients. If you are maybe just looking for like kids events, if you're an event planner and you're looking for kids events, you could do some fun content, color content, a little bit of Miss Rachel, that type of colorful, lovely content, instead of songs that we know we don't want our kids listening to. That's one way you can also, they're like, those are the songs you're dancing to on TikTok. Those are the songs you're going to play for us, our children, when we invite you for the event. Are you saying? So ensure that the content you're putting out is consistent with the message. We've talked about social media quite a bit. Let's talk about even websites. One moment, I'm reading this piece of news that you've put out on your website, and it's very, very nice, very serious, very lighthearted. Kuna jokes up and pale. And then I did another one tomorrow, and it's looking very serious, very, suit and tie. So I'll be confused. Are these people, free? Are they not? What type of writers do these people have? Because especially when it comes to like entertainment news you can be a bit free with it. The language doesn't have to be so serious. The wording doesn't have to be so, so strict. Even if you have like a local language, you can use some of that. If there's a word that is trending in your country or in your city or in your county, you can use that. But when you're putting out articles, let's say probably business articles or entrepreneur articles, they shouldn't be as lighthearted. There you're using language that is business. Just know your jargon, know your language, know what genre of clientele or who is reading this article. Because if I'm reading tips on how to properly market my business, and when I'm reading it I'm seeing personal words, I'll be like, hey, is this really advice I would take from someone? So ensure you're consistent with the content you're putting out. That's a big one, because there's always like a shift. You want to jump on the latest trend, you want to jump on the latest app. Sometimes even some businesses or some enterprises, not every app is for you. Let's just say that. I always say, if you are if you're a service provider, if you're an educator, psychologist, that's more towards the service side. If you offer services, Instagram should not be your focus. Jump onto LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where it's at if you're a service provider. If you're selling a product, maybe Instagram, a bit of TikTok here and there, but just know your niche app. Not every app is for you to use, not every app is for you to prosper. And the same content that you're putting on LinkedIn, sweetheart, is not the same content you're putting on Instagram. It's pure as that. You have to switch it up, because LinkedIn has a more suit and tie feel, but Instagram has a more light, picturey feel, and TikTok has a more fun, dancey feel. So you see how you have to cut across this demographic if you want your content to be relevant. There's a whole science to it, but it's not as hard as it makes. It's not as hard as it looks. Another thing that you have to check for is your online presence. So you're not only present by posting and all that. Are you looking at your search engine optimization? Are you optimizing your content in a way that if I search, it's popping up? Is that something that you're really considering when you're putting something out? Are you covering relevant topics that people are looking for? Or you're just covering topics that are personal to you and yourself? Are you ensuring that, aside from being selling your product or whatever you're selling, are you also hand in hand with what's happening in the community. There's inbound marketing and there's outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is what you're doing on your page, it's what you're doing on your LinkedIn, it's what you're doing in your space. Outbound is now you're looking at what other people are doing, because more often than not, actually, I think you've seen this. If you follow an influencer or someone, even on LinkedIn, if Apple decides to, they recently had the conference that they showed all the new iOS advancements that they're making, and you would find people saying, "Oh, this is really nice. It could really come through," especially the one for where they're trying to deal with depression through the checking app. You can look at it. It's very lovely. So people are there like, "Oh, this would really come through in the field of psychology." That's outbound, where you're interacting with content that other people have put out just for a point of recognition. Again, you need to be very, very careful, because when you're doing this, are you doing it in the aim of are you doing it in the direction of the people who resonate with your content? Because let's make it a bit religious here. If you're a Christian, you cannot be commenting on secular artists. Then people will doubt your ground. Not to be judgmental, but you get what I mean. If your stance is let's say you are let's say the same thing. You can't be seen on the Gilby's comments there, haha, have a good time. People don't really trust your product. People don't really understand what you're doing. Again, maybe let's say you're a clothing company, but you're very loud on the energy drink side. You see, there's a bit of a disconnect in how you're putting out your content and how you're putting out what you want others to see, or your outbound marketing. So ensure that even if you're commenting, collaborating, etc., make it in a way that it is with something that goes with who you are or what you would like. The easiest I would say is lifestyle. So if it's someone just showing off their new house, stuff like that, which is a lifestyle, very easy to maneuver, very easy to go through, so that one you can easily market. Now, another point you should look at is customer experience. Never look at it from something that benefits you. Look at it from an angle of something that benefits the people that you're sending it out to. What customer experience are you giving these people, even with your content? Because when it comes to even your product, let's talk about product or even service, I think it's common knowledge by the time you're starting, you have to add a little something to make your product or your service a bit wow, a little pizzazz for the people to see you're different. If your company is phone cases, give out the phone case with stickers or a personal message. If your company is hair product, when someone buys some hair products, add a free comb, add a free bag in there just to appreciate them. Yeah. So that's purely on the product side. But also when you're putting out your content, it should be the absolute same. For example, if it's a cleaning company, I'm really sticking on this cleaning company situation. But if it's a cleaning company, how I would feel special is if, let's say, they put out content on giving tips. So I'm just like, wow, kumbe, you're not selfish with what you guys do. Mbaka mna tupea tips and tricks on how to properly clean my place. I would, trust those people because they're not gatekeeping what they're using, showing what products they're using. Or if they're cleaning your house, they tell you, okay, we're going to leave for you a free, air freshener. Just small things to make the customer experience lovely. Even when I'm reading, let's go back to websites also. Even when I'm reading a story, on the website, I want to feel like it was written for me to understand what is going on. If just think about me not knowing the story, not even knowing the person, write it in a way that it is mine, it is who I am. If it's a business type of website and you're putting out, entrepreneurship, business content, write it in a way as if I'm starting my business today. The basic terms that I need are there. I don't have to search for 3 articles to be able to understand your article. It's as simple as that. Make your customer feel special. Make them feel appreciated. Make them feel like, I'm truly a customer in this business. Now, last and very much not least is ensure you're data driven. Here's the thing. More often than not, you start this business with a specific goal or a specific demographic in mind. Let's say you start a cleaning company yangu. Umeanza cleaning company and you realize that your demographic is you enter with the aim of corporate. Wewe unataka the big buildings in Westlands, you're the one cleaning those buildings. But then as you go into business, you realize that you're hitting in the Airbnb market. So are you really going to stick to this corporate build? That's not working out. Maybe you've had 1 or 2 buildings in the 6 months you've been functional, but Airbnbs every week you have bookings for you to clean this Airbnb. Are you seeing the little, so you have to use the data you have gathered to twist it to a direction that benefits you. It's as simple as that. Ensure that in everything that you do, you're using your data to make decisions, because it can be very easy to make emotional, it can be very easy to make decisions based off of your friends, your family, but ensure that you're making decisions based off of the data, because the numbers never lie. If there's something we have learned on the Entrepreneur Spot, is that numbers never lie. Now here's the thing, I've given you guys the basic of the basics of the basics. There's much more to marketing, there's much more to putting your brand out there, there's much more to putting your service and your product out there, and go forth and look for it. I love to say that here on the Entrepreneur Spot, we aim to do our due diligence, and that's what we always do. I'll give the basics, but go dig in, find out what more you can do to market your product and your business. Ensure that anything that you use is working for you, and it's not a one size fits all situation. Everything is different, and you can start something today, and in the next 2 weeks you wanna switch your design and your style, and that's absolutely okay. Pick what works for you and what ensures that whatever goal you set at the beginning of this business, that's what's working to now. So ensure you're keeping such things in mind when you're pulling out a marketing plan. It's not that hard, and if you have extra funds in your company or in your product, please find people who do this as a career and hire them too, so you can have an easy, smooth, ongoing process as you move on. Have a lot of partnerships that you can have to ensure that you're not stressing yourself with this specific thing. So that has been my time for you guys. That's literally the basics of basics. There was much more to it, but that's a story for another day. Yeah, so please do stick around. We have the Hangout 4 to 7 p.m. Entertainment news, all of it, the good music, the new things, the gossip, they have it all for you, and they break it down for you perfectly. So please do stick around for that. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yes, tomorrow is Wednesday. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Kama kawaida. Call your friends, call your family, tell them tomorrow we're having an equally amazing show. I said earlier that I feel like I've been such a prophet of doom, because every single news I've been giving very recently has been very dark and very dull, but I'm here to give you guys where you can grow. Ensure that even in this tough economy, tough times, you're growing, you're prospering, and you're thriving. So I'm going to give space for them to come through. It's been lovely. I will see you guys tomorrow.